Hi, I am so glad you're here to do some yoga with me and Honey today. Honey's basically just doing Shavasana. That's the pose that she has nailed. And it's always a nice reminder, right, that if that's what your yoga practice is, that's amazing. That's doing yoga. Rest is a huge, huge part of this practice. And even bringing that quality of rest to the more active pieces is how we keep it a practice that's really balancing for the nervous system. Oh, do you want to practice a little bit today? Let's start standing at the top of the mat. Take a moment and bring your hands to your heart into Anjali Mudra. And just settle in. Close the eyes down and tune into your body here, right? So whatever sensations are arising, whatever quality of energy is present, feel your feet connected to the mat beneath you, and the crown of your head lifting up. A couple of centering breaths here. So inhaling, lots of awareness. Exhaling, presence from your feet all the way up to the crown of the head. We'll do that again. Deep breath in, really open and aware. Long exhale, centered and grounded through the feet. This time, reach the arms up over your head, stretch it out on an inhale, and then interlace your hands at your lower back as you exhale. You can always grab hold of your shirt or a towel, pull the knuckles down, lift the chest and the chin, turn on the glutes a little bit. It's totally cool to bend the knees just a tiny bit here to keep the back side of your body, the hamstrings and the glutes active. And then hinge through the hips, fold forward, keep the bind, keep hold of the towel, whatever you've got there. Give your head a really gentle shake, nodding chin from shoulder to shoulder, looking right, looking left, and then nod your chin, maybe like an exaggerated nod here, checking in with that range of motion in the back of the neck and the axial occipital joint of the base of the skull, where it's easy to hold a lot of tension. Cool, release the bind. You're going to take it into chair pose. It can be a pretty gentle seat, so not your deepest chair pose yet. Just warming up the legs. Tuck the tailbone a tiny little bit to protect the lower back and make a lot of space for your kidneys and your adrenals. Right, this part of our endocrine system that's maybe a little bit overly taxed right now. Stretch out through there, breathe in. Push into your feet as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, stand up tall. We'll do that again. Reach the arms up, stretch out on the inhale. Hands to the lower back as you exhale, interlace maybe the opposite finger on bottom, so that opposite pinky, it'll feel interesting. Lift the chest and the chin, breathe in, a little bit of a back bend. Hinge at the hips, keep the bind as you fold forward and empty. Come right into chair pose, just for an inhale. Sit low through the hips. Bring your hands to your heart and stand tall on your exhale. Once more like that. Inhale, reaching the arms up. You can move at your own pace if you like. Exhale, your hands to the lower back. That's always true. You don't need my permission. Lift your heart, breathe in, and then hinge to the hips, forward fold with that bind. Chair pose, honey, you too. Inhale. She's in no chair. Exhale your hands to your heart. That's fine too. Reach the arms up over your head. Stretch it out and breathe in. This time bring your hands to your sides. Just pause, fingertips down, palms forward. You can close the eyes or keep them open, but just tune back into your body. Notice if there's any little changes in the energy, maybe a little bit more alert, or a little bit of warmth or tingling through the hands there from the binds. Bring the hands to the heart again. Go ahead and bend the knees low, so chair with the hands at your heart, but lift the left heel. So present and grounded through your right foot, start to take the weight out of the left, maybe come up onto the left tippy toes. And then you're gonna fly it back into an easy airplane, pressing the left leg back. Try and steer the left hip down. You can even bring your hands to your hips to help out with that. And then same thing, tiny tuck to the tailbone to protect the lower back, engage your core. Hands can stay at the heart, they can come to the hips, or they can reach to your sides. Take a few deep breaths here. So if you know Ujjayi, it's that inhale, filling up, and then constrict the throat on your exhale. It's almost like a little snoring sound, emptying the breath. A couple more. And feel into the sides of the neck. Drag the shoulders away from the ears. One more here. Breathe in, maybe lift the chest a little bit, and then you're gonna step the left foot to the back of the mat, heel down, reach the arms up, warrior one. So you're still in that lunge, still bending the right knee, adjust the feet however you need here, root down through the base of the right big toe. And then pick a point for your eyes to land straight forward on the horizon in front of you, something that's not gonna move. Let that be your drishti, your visual focus. And then just gazing toward that spot softly. Okay, stretch out through your fingertips here. Take another deep breath in. And then you're gonna hinge forward through your hips. Bring the arms toward the sides of your body, palms face down. Spin the left heel up. Your right glutes probably are talking to you a bit here. You're gonna shift the weight to the right foot, come up onto the left tippy toes, and then back into airplane pose. Maybe a little bit more of a wobbly airplane, totally cool. Breathe in, bring your left foot down to meet the right. Inhale, the arms come up, find that big full body stretch. Exhale, interlace at the lower back. Lift your heart and your chin, take a very big breath in. Fold forward and empty. Take it into chair pose on the inhale. Stand up, hands to your heart on the exhale. Cool, rebend the knees. This time root down to the left foot, lift the right heel. Deep, deep breathing, little scoop to the tailbone, and lift the right leg up. Fly it back into airplane. Try and keep the right hip level with the left. Maybe micro bending the left knee, and then either bringing the hands to the hips to keep steering that right hip down, or keep the hands in Anjali Mudra, or float them to the sides. More important than whatever you're doing with your arms is what you're doing with your breath and your eyes. So come back to that drishti, that focal point, and then take really deep breaths in and out through your nose, finding steadiness and ease through the breath. Even if the pose starts to feel super wobbly and unsteady, or super challenging and not easy, keep the steadiness and ease through your breath. In slow motion, we're gonna take it to warrior one. Bend the left knee, step the right foot to the back of the mat, dial the heel down, keep the lunge in the front leg, arms up. Right back to that drishti and that steady, steady breath. Every asana, every posture, looking for this balance between steadiness and ease, and trying to cultivate both of those qualities. So instead of pushing your body or forcing anything, see if you can just allow the pose to unfold. Breathe through your body from the soles of the feet all the way to your fingertips. And then we're gonna take it back into airplane. Mindful transition, right heel lifts, you're up on the right tiptoes as you hinge it forward. Scoop the tailbone a bit, and then launch. Set the eyes, breathe. One more long inhale. Step the right foot down to meet the left on the exhale. Reach it up, stretch. Maybe the hips go forward and you look up. Interlace at your lower back on the exhale. Stay there, breathe in. Forward fold, keep the bind for that exhale. Take it into chair pose on an in breath. Hands to your heart as you stand. Nice. Bend the knees, we'll do that again. We're gonna add on. Lift the left heel, hands are at the heart center. Round the back a little bit and then hug your navel in to protect it. Float the left knee up. This time we're gonna do a couple little standing crunches here. So lifting the knee up, rounding the shoulders and the upper ribs over your belly. Crunch it up. 3, 2, hold the last one, give it a good squeeze, and then fly it back into your airplane. Steady, eyes to one point, breathe in. Slow motion, step the left foot back. Warrior one. Finish that inhale. Back into airplane as you exhale. Nice, breathe in, lift the chest, and then step the left foot down to meet the right. Arms up, big inhale. Lower back, interlace on the exhale. Lift the chest and the chin, breathe in. Keep the bind as you fold forward and release. Chair pose on the inhale. Heart center, stand on the exhale. Keep the hands at your heart. Sink back into chair. Remember that little scoop in the lower back. Lift the right heel, lift the whole right foot, and then pulse it up from your core. Try and move from deep in the low belly here. Shoulders rounding over the belly. For 3, 2, hold that last one in, and then fly it back. Airplane pose, steady breath. Exhale, step the right foot back. Arms over your head, breathe in. Fly it forward, last little airplane here. And then step the feet together at the top. Reach the arms up, breathe in. This time just bring your hands to your heart. You can close the eyes down or set your gaze to your fingertips. Just tune back into your body and your breath. Notice where maybe you picked up tension. See if you can breathe into those spaces. Find some softness. Or maybe some spaciousness itself. Or maybe just noticing the tension, right? Like this friendly nod of acknowledgement. Oh yeah, my shoulders kind of crowded my ears there for a moment. Okay. Blink the eyes open. Reach the arms up. This time try and come back onto the tiptoes. Keep your heels lifted as if you can. Bring your hands to your heart. Heels are going to stay lifted. If you can, it's totally fine to drop the heels down, but we're going to take it into a chair pose with the heels up. Hug the thighs toward each other. Same alignment in the lower back. Scoop the tailbone a tiny bit so that you feel the low back protected and the core active. And then we're going to take a twist, maybe still on the tiptoes. You'll feel your thighs shaking a little bit. Stretch the left arm back and the right arm forward. If you want, you can always sit lower. I'm going to stay about halfway here today. Maybe start to look back toward your left fingers. Breathe in. Bring your hands to your heart as you square the chest forward. Take a breath in. And then take the twist to the other side. Steady breaths. Little snore sound on the exhale, constricting your throat. If it feels okay with the neck, look back for your right fingertips. Very big breath in. Hands to your heart, square the chest to the front. Drop the heels down and fold forward, release. Take a couple deep breaths here. And give your head another gentle nod or look from shoulder to shoulder. And then plant the hands, bend the knees, step the left foot to the back of the mat, release the left knee all the way down here. Bring your hands to your right thigh, untuck the left toes here on the top of the left foot. Hands are on the right thigh here. Scoop the tail, press the hips forward a little bit. Your hips are directly over your left knee. You should feel a good stretch to the front of your left thigh. We're opening up that whole line of fascia in the left leg. Also in like the left side of your low belly here, there's a lot of connective tissue there. And then if you feel steady, you can take the arms up over your head, find a stretch. Bring your right forearm to your right thigh, lift the left arm up and over, and then start to rotate, looking over your right shoulder, maybe looking back toward your left foot. Bring the head back through the center, release the neck, reach the right arm up to meet the left. Breathe in, and then bring the hands down, flex the right foot, send your hips back. Totally okay to soften the right knee a little bit here. Also very fine to sit all the way back onto your left heel if your body likes that. Just feel into the stretch. So now we're opening up the connective tissue in the back of the right leg. So with the foot flex, you're getting into that plantar fascia, the connective tissue that protects through the Achilles and the back of your calf and your hamstrings. See if you can find some spaciousness in the lower back and across the shoulder blades. And keep the eyes set on your right big toe. If it feels better in your neck, you can drop the head down, look toward your knee or your navel. And maybe experiment, play with what feels better in your body. Spend a breath in each and then choose. Look toward the right foot, start to roll the weight back into the right foot. Bring the right hand to the inside of the right foot. We're gonna take it into lizard lunge. If you happen to be practicing on hardwood or cement, I hope not. You can always roll your mat or place something like, keep something like this nearby, like a towel or something nearby, so that there's a lot of kindness and compassion, friendliness toward the joints in your body, right? Replacement knees are super expensive. Do your best to take really good care of the ones that you have. Lots of respect for the joints in your body and everything that they do. If you have other variations of lizard, or if you want to play with maybe coming down onto one forearm or both forearms, it's a nice variation. Alternately, it can sometimes feel good to bring the right hand to the inside of the right thigh and find some space, just pressing your chest away from that leg. If you want to try something like pigeon prep, roll onto the outer edge of your right foot, letting the sole of the right foot splay open. Feel this in your hip. If you start to feel this in the right knee, it's probably not the stretch for you. We don't actually want to open the knees. That's not the direction that that joint works, right? But it is nice to get that hip opener if it's available to you. About 3 more deep breaths here. Use the breath to find ease in your body. Use the breath as an anchor for your mind, so there's a steadiness in your attention. And then whatever variation you ended up in of lizard, bring the palms down underneath the shoulders, tuck the left toes under, lift the left knee. Back leg is really strong here. Try and spike the left heel up as high as you can. And then we're going to take it into pyramid, but go ahead and adjust by sliding the right foot back a bit and the left foot forward. So you want both heels down on the mat in pyramid. And that might mean that your feet are real close together. That is awesome. The idea here is to get a stretch in the back of your right thigh. and a forward fold. So as much as you can, relax over that right leg. If that's not available to you, you can always use blocks or something right next to you here. Or maybe you're close enough. I've got a couch right here. So you can always kind of stretch the arms onto something and use that. Anytime your head is hanging down below your heart, gravity can help you. It's a nice place to do a little neck release. Relax some of the tension through the middle of the shoulders, maybe your jaw. Look forward toward the top of the mat. I like to walk my hands forward, lift the left heel. We're gonna step the feet together at the top. Hips distance apart or together. Let's take a moment in a forward fold here, softening the knees so you're not straining the hamstrings. And then this time you're gonna step the right foot to the back of the mat, release the right knee, untuck the right toes, bring the hands to the left thigh. Stack the hips over your right knee, scoop the tailbone, and then just gently send your hips forward until you feel that stretch in the front of the right thigh. So now we're really opening that front chain of the right leg, right hip flexor, fascia around the quads, the shin, the top of the ankle, and the top of the foot. So if you ever get shin splints, stretch like this, it might feel pretty intense, but it can also be pretty therapeutic, just finding that sweet spot where it's maybe not super duper comfortable, but you're not in pain. When you feel steady, reach the arms up, and then bring the left forearm to the left thigh, leaning into that side bend gently. So use your legs to support you. You're still sinking down through the right shin and the top of the right foot, lifting through the right elbow. Look back over your left shoulder, looking maybe for your right foot back behind you, finding that twist. Inhale the head forward, release the neck, and then reach the left arm up to meet the right. Bring your hands down, flex the left foot, and then send the left hip back. Stretching out the plantar fascia through the left foot, the Achilles tendon, the calf. Be gentle with your hamstrings. This is one of the most common places for yoga to become not as helpful in the bodies. When we overstretch the hamstrings, we end up causing some inflammation, sometimes through the lower back. If you already have low back pain, keep a soft bend in that left knee. Notice if you can bring some ease through the shoulders and the sides of the neck here. Good, look toward the left foot. Roll through the left foot, bring the left hand to the inside of the left foot, setting up for lizard on this side. Again, patting that right knee or folding your mat over. If you're practicing on carpet, you might be fine. Now, the more you can kind of slide forward, listen to your body as you do this, but the more you slide forward onto the bottom of your right quadriceps, the less pressure the right kneecap ends up taking. And really tune into your body. Notice if it makes sense to play around with coming onto your forearms, or if that's just mentally interesting to you and your body's not so physically okay with that. Just notice where you have a tendency to force or push, very human part of all of us. See if you can just allow, right? So yoga is this state of being, this state of mind where we just allow, where we respond to what we feel really intuitively. really respectfully, mindfully, maybe sending the left thigh away from you. Maybe playing around with that hip opener, rolling onto the outer edge of your left foot, letting the knee fall open. But again, feel that in the hip. If you feel anything in the left knee that's not just interesting, but that's a little bit intense, it's not probably the stretch to do right now. Couple more deep breaths here. Close your eyes if that feels right, to tune in a little bit more deeply to what you feel in your body. This quality of interoception, of being able to perceive the sensations in your body, maybe even being able to perceive the beat of your heart, your heart rate, and the feel of your breath. Noticing if you feel the breath in your belly or your chest or your throat or your nose. And then coming back into lizard with the palms underneath the shoulders. I'm going to tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee, spike the right heel, bring the left hand outside the left foot so you're framing that foot. And then we'll set up pyramid. So however you want to walk the feet a little closer together, heels stay down. And then fold forward, just letting the torso kind of drip over that left leg. Or using whatever props are available to you. Maybe coming really, really close. I'm not sure if I'm still on screen here, but coming real close to something so that you can let the chest fall through the arms here and get kind of that same forward fold quality. And then step the right foot to meet the left. Separate the feet to hips distance or a little wider. How about mat's distance actually? And then we're going to take it down into Malasana. Turn the toes out and the heels in. Bring your hands to your heart, or you can keep your hands down and the heels might stay lifted a little bit. And try walking the feet a little farther apart. See if that gives the ankle joint enough space for the heels to drop down. It might not, that's okay too. Very gently, you're gonna make your way onto your back. Use your hands to support you. Keep the feet about hips distance. Walk your fingers back behind you. And then very slow little windshield wipers with your knees here side to side. You might stay on one side for a moment. Sometimes some of those stretches land in the outer edge of the hip, so you can get a little self-massage going. In fact, let's try that out. So next time you roll to your right, you can go ahead and roll all the way up. The sole of the right foot and the left knee are pretty close here. Bring your right hand right outside of the right hip. Bring your left hand to your left hip, and then roll the left hip up off the mat as you twist to the right. And then sink that hip back down. It's okay if the right knee pops up a little bit as you come back to the center. Do that again. Inhale, twist to the right, lifting the left hip. Exhale, square the chest as you drop the left hip down. Move like that about 5 more times here. Slow, really great kind of dynamic release for the hips and the pelvis. And then bring your left hand to your left ankle or your left foot. Reach the right arm up and over. Side bend here. Nod the chin from shoulder to shoulder, looking right and then looking left. Just real easy with the neck. Great, bring your hands back behind you. And then windshield wiper the knees, reset the feet. And this time we'll take that to the other side. So roll all the way to the left hip and sit up. Bring your right hand to your right ankle, or your right hand to your right hip rather. Left hand outside the mat for support. So we're just gonna move through that same thing, lifting the right hip point, rotating to the left, And then exhaling the hip back down. Try and keep the sternum and the crown of the head lifted. So especially after some work in the body, you tend to kind of hunch. See if you can keep lifting through the chest, keep sitting tall all the way up through the crown of the head. You're really noticing how the pelvis and the hips move together here, how the lower back, maybe even the shoulders connect. As we think about the body in these segments, and yoga is really this reminder that it's all connected, right? If you have like a rock in your shoe and you continue to walk on that, your step, like your gait changes, and over time it's going to affect the knee on that leg, the hip, all the way up, right? This ripple effect through the body. Cool, keep the hip down, bring the right hand to the right ankle, take your side stretch, lifting the left arm up and over. And lift through the inside of the left elbow here. And then take it back down to the center. You can windshield wiper the knees again if you like. I'm gonna come into Baddha Konasana, so when you're ready, meet me there. Bring the soles of the feet together. You can walk the heels as far away from your groin as feels comfortable, and then catch hold of the ankles, the calves, or the feet themselves. Go ahead and lift your chest. Just pull the heart through the arms a bit, bend the elbows, and then start to hinge at the hips. Try and keep your chest lifted for a breath or two. Keep the sternum lifted, lift through the front of the throat gently. And then when you're ready, on an exhale, allow the forward fold just to happen. Allow the flexion to flow through your back. Let the chin drop. Another nice place to do a little neck check. Let your arms relax however they want to. And then see if you can allow the body to become still. So it's the last real pose of the practice before we do a nice supine spinal twist in Shavasana. So see if you can give your body the gift of just a few breaths of stillness in the shape. Of course, make some adjustments if you need, if your body starts to communicate that it needs a little support somewhere. You just turn toward yourself with kindness and compassion. And turn toward the sensations in your body, openness. Including the stuff that's not super comfortable, right? So sometimes the body is just being a body, and the best thing we can do is be present, stay connected and feel it, breathe through it. Trust your timing. When you're ready, start to lift up, draw the knees together. Maybe a little bit of core on the way down, or you can just plop down onto your back, whatever makes sense for you. My low back needs a little support, so I like to add just a little bit of core. Reach the arms forward, keep the feet down if you can. Round the back, and draw the navel in, vertebra by vertebra. Imagine that you're imprinting one vertebra at a time as you lower down. Stretch the arms over your head, big breath in. You can walk the feet forward or up a little bit rather toward your butt. And then bring the right knee into your chest. Stretch the left leg out. Guide the right knee across your body for a twist. Inhale your right arm out to the right. And then as you exhale, if it feels okay, nod your chin toward the right shoulder. If it feels better, you can just keep your nose pointed straight upward. Take a few breaths here. Just feeling that gentle spiral through the torso, maybe even through the neck. And come back to the center, nice and easy. Both knees into the chest to start. And then keep hold of the left knee as you let your right leg stretch out. Guide the left knee to the right. Inhale as you extend the left arm open. And then exhale, nod your chin to the left or point your nose straight upward. Just breathe. Maybe the eyes start to soften down or close all the way here. It's a nice time to come back to a mantra, a sankalpa, an intention, whatever brought you to your mat, right? Pull that back into your consciousness as you come into Shavasana. Stretching out, finding a supportive shape, and that could be laying on your belly or laying on your side if that's better. Somewhere that you can drop the weight of your body down, feel the support of the surface that you've been practicing on. Allow the muscles to soften and release and let go of any conscious control of the breath so that your practice can really just integrate. Let it land on a cellular level, the nervous system, the endocrine system. Deep, deep nourishing. You can stay here for a little longer. Always encourage that. Otherwise, just notice your breath without controlling it, right? So let go of that snore sound. Let go of the constriction in the throat. And then see if you can turn toward Shavasana, turn toward your final rest for about 3 breaths from a space of kindness and compassion. Again, if you can stay here for longer, go ahead and turn the video off or tune me out. Just breathe. And otherwise, start to bring some movement into the tips of your fingers and your toes, your wrists, your ankles. Inhale your arms back over your head and point the toes, find that big stretch. And then exhale, draw the knees up as you roll to the side without rush. Ease yourself up to a seat like you've got all the time in the world to get there. And when you land, honoring your practice and this practice of yoga by bringing your hands to your heart, taking a moment to acknowledge the teachers that came before you and the teachers that came before them. And this lineage of seekers going all the way back to ancient India, people practicing outside, by the river, under the trees, in the caves, really seeking the answer to the truth of all of us. And so often coming to this conclusion that the more we can turn toward things with kindness and compassion, the closer we get to that space of non-judgmental, unconditional understanding. Just breathing that quality into your body, into yourself, into whatever challenges you're going through, whatever challenges you've moved through in the past, and whatever the future holds for you ahead. And this commitment to turning toward it as much as you can remember to, from a space of kindness and compassion. And from that intention, close practice together, big cleansing breath in through your nose, fill up all the way down into your core, let the chest lift. And then open your mouth, sigh the breath out. Thumbs to your forehead. Namaste. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. I hope that your body feels a little cared for, a little bit more centered and present. I'm probably very close to the screen. Take care of yourself. See you soon.